There's a tough new reality in the Tennessee prison system. A new civilian board adjusting the punishment given for bad behavior, possessing a cell phone, fentanyl, deadly weapons, hurling bodily fluids at the staff, and a month later, mounting a serious assault.
Our statutory obligation is to review the grant, denial, and removal of sentence credits and either take more away or give some back.
The overwhelming majority is on the takeaway side. In less than a year's time, the board has taken 87,000 days of good time credit away from rule breakers.
We're doing right by the inmates who are performing wrongly. We're doing right by the inmates who are performing properly. We're giving the correctional officers another tool in their tool bag to control the inmate population, and we're protecting communities.
But adding days also means adding dollars. According to TDOC's most recent figures, it costs $111.53 a day to house a prisoner. Multiply by 87,000 and you're upwards of $9.7 million.
And that cost is tremendous and not even something that I was necessarily looking at the time.
I'm a criminal defense attorney and I'm here on behalf of the Tennessee Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers.
When the Oversight Board was first proposed, Ben Rabin had a number of concerns.
The fiscal note on this bill estimates $2 million, which is just for the review board itself. The fiscal note says that they can't calculate the actual cost for increased sentences due to a number of unknown factors.
In its first annual report, the board tallied only the number of incidents it reviewed, not the number of incarceration days added or good time credit taken away.
We didn't want to put that data into the annual report prematurely, but at the beginning of 2025, once we were able to capture that first year, we were able to start looking at what we had done and how we had done it and maybe making some improvements.
After we inquired, I noticed the total days had been posted on the board's website. The board has established a matrix for minimum and maximum punishment, but there's a lot of room for discretion. Here's an example.
In Trousdale,
2 inmates in a serious fight, using a food tray and another weapon.
teeth were broken out, lacerations, bruising on the body and face.
Neither man had many serious prior write-ups.
And I've thought about this when I requested 9 months additional because there was no time taken for both.
The initial punishment was a loss of 9 months per man, 273 days, but the board reconsidered.
I'll entertain more.
And upped it to 15 months, 456 days per man.
All in favor of Mr. Dunn's motion to remove 15 months from both inmates?
Aye.
And while members do not take cost into account, this decision went from a total of $57,876 in taxpayer-funded incarceration to more than $96,000. In the absence of oversight, when the prisons were handling these matters entirely, the numbers were far different.
In 2022, the entirety of the year, they only took away 2,000 sentence credit days in total. Our presence on this board has really influenced that process, and it's really making a huge difference. A 1,000-fold increase.
Yet it appears in more than half the cases, the prisons are still getting it right. This is interesting. The board has agreed with the institution 65% of the time.
So what we're seeing is that more than half of the credits are not being disturbed, and the prisons are getting it right more than half of the time. And so to the extent that we're saying that we have this other percentage that's not, well, do we really need the board to come in and do that? One of the things that I had suggested to the legislature when I testified is maybe we just need to take a look at this, do an audit, see what the numbers are, and just look at that and then make a decision.
Does it raise the question, do we need this?
No, you do need it, because before we put this board in, they hardly ever took away credit at all for anything. You could stab a guard and you still didn't lose your good credits. And you had people who got 4 years of good credit, like the person in Memphis that committed the crimes. They should have been in jail. They shouldn't have been committing that crime. And then when you look at their record when they were in, good sometimes, terrible others, they never had the reduction. They still got out 2-3 years early. That's just wrong. And so this board is put in place to make sure that we hold the Department of Corrections accountable for those decisions. And now they know we have oversight. And what you saw was that board said, you know what, y'all aren't doing your job efficiently. 65% in any school in our state's an F.